Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray on ESPN 790 AM. Brought to you proudly by Tennessee Wildlife Resource Agency, Barton Power Sports, Sportsman's Warehouse, and Best Care Home Services.
Hey, welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray on ESPN 790 as we close in 1 week away from our 16th anniversary show. That's a lot of shows. We have not missed a week in 16 years. That's a lot of words. It's a lot of verbiage. That came close. Information we have been posting on ESPN 790, Intercom Radio right here. Greg Ratliff is our show producer. And this is a special, a double deal here right now, because we're going to talk to two people at once. And now that our phone system has been corrected, that we've been trying to deal with for 3 weeks right now, that we're going to have two guests on at the same time, and I think you'll be able to tell the difference in their voices. I've never really talked to Mike Dixon before, but if he has a high-pitched voice, we're in trouble. And so, but let's talk a little. Now, that's not you. Gene Smith, Charlie Coven, in with us as a co-host this morning on Outdoors with Larry Ray. We're going to talk a new partnership that Prime One Camo, man, I think they get a partnership every week. And we're trying to stay up with
all the new stuff.
And so I've got it right here for me. They've just partnership with the folks at Engel of Jupiter, Florida. They're a leader in AC/DC fridges and freezers. New partnership to enhance the newest line of Engel popular soft-sided backpack coolers. And that's got to be talking to Mike Dixon. Good morning, Mike.
Hey, good morning. How are you?
Oh, we're doing great here in Memphis, Tennessee. We finally got some rain.
Hey, Mike, how's it going, man?
Look at her. She couldn't hold off.
Stacey, how are you?
All right. You want me to hang up and just let y'all talk?
You're good, Larry.
I hadn't even got a chance to introduce you, Stacey, and you've already come on and talking to Mike there. Now, that's on my time, So, Stacey Walker's on with us. She is the founder, president, and all chief muckety-muck, I guess, of Prime One Camo that when did this debut? 2 years ago or 3?
We did our first public showing at ATA 2 years ago, it's been a fast-moving train since then, needless to say.
And this latest partnership, Mike, talk about Engel cooler, soft-sided backpack coolers, and how your partnership with Prime One here.
Well, sure. We've been in the cooler game for quite a while.
50 years. That's quite a while. Yeah.
Yeah. Fridge freezers was our start.
Yeah.
Fiberglass coolers. We hold the design patent on rotomolded coolers. We started that about 9 years ago, and we've got a pretty wide line. We've only recently in these last few years added drinkware and soft side coolers. And right about the time we were developing some of these products, we had worked with a number of camo companies, if you will, in the past, and we found that we were really striving to find something that to us was unique, was new, was on an uphill climb, and I believe, bumped into Stacey at SHOT, and at that same year we discussed some things at ICAST, and as you had mentioned earlier, her rate of growth, her ideas, the types of different patterns that she was producing, it was just a match made in heaven for us. And Prime One has really turned out to be, unique in that it appeals so broadly, not only to people who really love camo and were looking for something exciting and interesting, but it really appeals to even folks who maybe have a slight aversion to camo, and for them maybe the twigs and sticks and leaf type camo for them might be a bit of a turnoff. We find that they really respond to the Prime One patterns as something really attractive and aesthetically pleasing. So Stacey was ready to go, not only with the types of high quality fabrics that we were looking at for soft side coolers, but also hydrographic films and the types of things that we could look to add to our drinkware, and maybe ultimately down the road we look at our rotomolded coolers again and see if there's an economically accessible way for the consumer to get some camo pattern on those products too.
And Stacey, I know that I'm looking at mine right here. Of course, I have the camo pattern with the big eagle right in the middle right there in orange, and then all the camo pattern. This is amazing. I was blown away, Mike, when this came in to me, and the capacity to hold it. I've got Gene Smith holding it up right now, trying to figure out where how many pockets we got here.
Sure.
Plus the ability, not only can it hold things, but you guys wanted this to be functional for keeping things cold. And before I talked to Stacey,
it has to be able to do its job, which for us is products that help you keep things cold for as long as you need them to do that. And so it's really a bag that performs very, very well, if not better, than a lot of perhaps the more flashy soft side bags out there right now that are 2 to 3 times the cost. And for us, it's a combination of, again, affordability and value, but it's big enough to do the job you need it to do, but ultimately with any cooler, you don't want it so big that nobody can pick it up.
That's what I was, I've already tested it out, and again, we're talking to Mike Dixon, VP for Engel Coolers and soft-sided coolers, and I know it says here 3.5 days. I mean, you've tested these things.
If you were to pack it with the absolute intention that you needed to keep things cold as humanly long as possible, which means pre-freezing, prepping the cooler, that was our upper threshold of performance we've found. Obviously, for most people, they're looking for a 6 to 8, 12-hour type of excursion, maybe overnight into the next day. And again, for that, we feel we've got a great cooler that combines enough room where you don't want to have too many cooler packs in there that at the end of the day you can only fit a few food and drink items. So it holds up real well, and then ultimately, again, it's a cooler for us. We're very active down here. We're based in Jupiter, Florida. We like to get outdoors and have an awful lot of fun, just like your listeners. And so for us, it was ultimately we wanted a cooler we could bring with us and still have 2 hands free for a dog leash, a beach chair, another bag of gear, those types of things. And so that's really what we were after.
Well, Stacey, let's talk a little bit about from the Primal Camo.
Well, let me interject on the whole how these cooler bags perform. I was down last month before ICAST at Panama City Beach and had my pink backpack cooler bag packed up, and it was so nice to be able to walk down the beach with that thing strapped on your back and have both your hands free to carry everything else.
Yes.
And that ice stayed in that cooler for over 2 days, and that was sitting in the blazing hot sun in July.
Wow.
So I can attest to the functionality of them for sure.
And now let's look at the appearance of this, because it's available in, is this right, 14 colors?
Well, as of yet on the soft side.
What are we available? We've got 4 of them, right? I think it's 3 or 4 right now.
There's 3 primary Prime 1 pattern currents presently available. There's Shoreline, which is that beautiful deep blue pattern that you see.
I'm looking at it.
Pink Out, which is primarily pink, but it's got some great little bits of turquoise and stuff.
I'm looking at that.
Sharp.
Yeah.
And then the MP pattern, which is your traditional kind of outdoor palette of browns and greens.
It's what I have. It's what I'm looking at.
We've got another bag. It's not available to public yet, but it's the Prime 1 Blackout pattern.
Oh,
and
okay.
We started that initially with a group called Friends of NRA. They're going to kind of have that first for their fundraising next year, and then we'll probably see that bag then come down into our consumer available lineup. So.
And I know, Stacey, getting back to the patterns and the things along that line, this is kind of a perfect fit for you guys, isn't it? I mean,
it really is. It really is. I grew up hunting and fishing down in South Louisiana.
Yes.
My husband and my family, they're big into freshwater fishing. So, and me being a wildlife artist, I wanted to capture, natural elements of a predator and, wildlife in the pattern itself. And, just the whole idea of having this backpack cooler bag that you can just towed around, be it a woman or a man or a kid. I mean, I've had to wrangle cord a couple of times for running off with ours. Standing in the middle of a trout stream, casting his line with a cooler bag still strapped on his back, and had no difficulties whatsoever. And so I think it was just a beautiful fit. Mike and his whole crew down there in Jupiter are awesome to work with, and just felt like a really good fit. And and that's one thing that Mike alluded to, is that unlike other patterns out there, this appeals to everybody. I mean, somebody can be out on the beach and have nothing to do with hunting or fishing and still appreciate and love using this bag or the pattern.
Well, and I'm looking at the one I've got here is a suggested price of $150. That's
actually dropped, Larry.
It's dropped?
Those are $129.
Whoa, let me write that down. $129. Okay, folks, did you hear that? You could go to, let's see, I've got the website right here. It's englecoolers.com. That's $129. Now, I don't know what this No Shoes Nation backpack coolers is. I don't know.
That's just another great opportunity we've got in play. Absolutely.
Okay, but that's $129, folks. That's $30 off from just about what I had earlier. But these are Engle Coolers, partnership with our good friends at Prime One Camo. And before I let you guys know, I know that Stacey's going to. Can we announce Frog Talks? I don't guess Mike could care.
Oh yeah, absolutely, go for it.
Yeah, let's. Yeah, this is big stuff. Now, you guys know I'm a Frog Talks man. I like 2 G's and 2 G's. Okay, and I've already contacted. We're going to have Stacey on with us next. She may be a regular member, and we may have to put her in the diner on the website. But the connection with Frog Talks, Stacey. But quickly, tell us about that.
Oh, I'm a huge Frog Talks fan, and Adam Parker and Will and the whole crew over there are just awesome. And we, just thought it was going to be a perfect, beautiful kind of marriage made in heaven for my pattern and their rain suits. And so we launched the official Prime One Camo Pilot 2 Series rain suits at ICAST in the colors of Shoreline, which is the blue pattern, Silver Mist, which is a real cool kind of white and grays and light blues, and then Blackout on their Pilot series. And it was their first endeavor. We're just going to jump out there and do it. And lo and behold, we wound up winning the Best in Show award for lifestyle apparel with that rain suit. And so to say that we were all ecstatic is an understatement of the century.
And Mike, I know what's good for Prime One is good for you, right?
Absolutely. It's exciting to see that pattern make it into some partnerships with some other real high-quality companies because, I think people are going to just continue to gravitate towards it, and there's some great new patterns that Stacey's shared with us that have us excited about the future. And, of course, if people want to build a suite of Prime One products at their home, they can now do that.
That's really great. And sometime we need to get you back on, Mike, to talk about being the Caribbean area manager for avionics. You must have some stories to tell.
Yeah. Huh? that was fun. The marine industry as a whole is an awful lot of fun. Lots of good stuff going on.
And a lot of folks out there might not know, but Mike was with Yamaha, and that's why the name kind of came back to me for your time at Yamaha and Limited Lighting. But hey, thank you, Stacey. It's always good to talk to you. I can track you down, Mike. We know where to find you now. And thanks for my cooler here, and I look forward to using it. And Stacey, we'll talk to you next month with all these other great states that's coming out of Prime One, okay?
Sounds good, Larry.
Thank
y'all. See you, Mike.
Y'all have a good day.
Thanks, everybody.
All right.
You too. Thank you.
All right, let's take a break on Outdoors with Larry and come right back with the ladies going to come dancing into the break.
You can find out all about it on Outdoors with Larry.